Kikori landowners raise concerns. UNICEF launches radio drama on gender-based violence. And CPL sells locally produced oil from Mushu. Good evening and welcome. This is Saturday's news. I'm Kilawani. Affected landowners in the Kikori Baimuru logging project area of Gulf Province claim that the operator Turama Forest Industry, a foreign-owned company, operated illegally between 1999 and 2019 as the operating license expired already back then. Speaking to EMTV News yesterday, the landowner representatives demand the National Forest Authority to remove the Turama Forest Industry's operations license immediately and be reissued to local logging company Kikori Forest Management Limited, as they say development projects promised under the TFI operations agreement have not been implemented after decades of logging operations. TFI ceased logging operations in the area in 2019, which the landowners also say was done inappropriately.
The landowner representatives are gravely concerned about the situation, saying as per the agreement document, the Turama Forest Industries logging operations license expired in 1999, but logging continued until 2019 without a review of the agreement in between. And the company eventually ceased operations in 2019, which the landowners say was done without the full knowledge of the National Forest Authority at the time.
In this timber permit, Turama has few projects stipulated as the state obligation, as the Turama's the contract obligations, timber permit obligations. Turama operated for almost 63 years in Gulf Province, almost 37 years in Turama TRP, and 26 years in 3FM areas, 63 years in Gulf. Within that duration, there's nothing to show for. There is no infrastructure and investment projects for the landowners.
Over 1.7 million hectares of forest land were acquired by TFI when the logging operations commenced in June 1995 upon agreement, and the landowners say there is nothing to show for in terms of infrastructural development as promised under the agreement, with projects worth a total of 3.3 billion kina still outstanding. And therefore they demand the National Forest Authority to remove the license permit from TFI and be reissued to local logging company Kikori Forest Management Limited.
TFI failed by putting all these waterways owners, putting them up in a tree area. So all this time, each operation for 26 years, it was paying those waterway owners, denying our rights, our benefits, whatsoever.
Turama owing me, promise for me no come up. Malkia money me papa ground. Papa blow DY.
TFI have denied our rights, so me like him TFI go. So me by need him, or me like him, me play it by walking timber. Kikori Forest by making.
Suppose me go operate the foreign countries like China or Malaysia. Suppose me no got permit by me operate. Without permit. Now, we will ask him status, how, why? All allow him to come operate with a reviewing this permit.
Executive Chairman for Kikori Forest Management Limited, Mark Sarong, who has been involved in the forest industry of PNG for decades, says it is time for the local people to do the work themselves rather than relying on foreigners.
We're telling forestry to remove this permit from Turama and give it to our company, Kikori Forest Development Limited, as a landowner company. We want to take over this permit and harvest the log ourselves. There is 5,684,058 cubic meters of timber still standing on the ground. After Turama 60 operation, that is the volume capacity at the moment standing in the 3 FMA areas. We want to tap into that reserve timbers by ourselves, by our company, and we export the timber to China.
Dennis Orere, National MTV News.
Young leaders from various organizations today participated in a workshop to share their challenges on what they are doing in the country. The Young Pacific Leaders Conference was hosted by the U.S. Department of State, which saw various leaders from the Pacific mobilize to participate in leadership roles. Most leaders who took part in this conference were young education advocates who have been vocal on various issues in the country. These include culture, environment, and other social issues. And they are involved in video documenting various cultural ceremonies in the country with the hope of preserving these cultures. They also shared some of their experiences and challenges in this conference.
Leadership conference basically is talks about education, resource and environment management, civic leadership, and economic and social development. It is, in one way, this to empower all Pacific leaders to get into leadership capacities to make positive impacts in respective provinces in Papua New Guinea and the entire country as a whole.
Kind time I'm critical of people must make a change now. It's not tomorrow, it's not whenever. Like for example, my project is about cultural preservation. So like people focus lo try best lo encourage more generation lo now lo no can do something lo passing to muna or good lo valuable passing to me because all to muna all young all lapun where one old staff now lo community or lo place to me one child staff and they are dying with that knowledge. Now usad again but continuing this the knowledge go. So people go about around making awareness, reach out lol, or documenting one kind of passing where people can capture him at this time, and also encouraging this generation to hold strong social values to me.
Now, side logistics, you may have a PNG, including Bougainville, you may got all geographical areas where you may have reach them all. And also being a young person, working with elders, who have only been staff before, and they'll be like, oh, who is this person who's just coming now and trying to tell us what to do? So these are real challenges that we as young education advocates face.
The people of Namatanai in New Island Province turned out in numbers last week to witness another development project worth over 1 million kina. The project was 2 school buses for Namatanai Secondary School and a truck each to support women from West Coast Central and Tabar Landowners Association. The project was delivered through the Namatanai District Development Authority.
In a small ceremony last week, 2 30-seater school buses were presented to Namatanai Secondary School. A truck each was also presented to the women of West Coast Central Wards 15 to 18 and Tabar Landowners Association. The availability of these trucks will help alleviate the problem of transportation the people have been facing and help transport women to the markets at Kavieng.
Promise Lomi Golong Mama West Coast. Now, Ward 15, you go 18. We've been talking you plan, but you like is one mama market. Truck. M2 Omigaman.
The 2 trucks will be managed by Tabar Landowners Association. The local MP challenged them to ensure the trucks serve the people of Tabar Islands. A total of 20,000 kina will be made available every year for the registration, maintenance and administration of these trucks.
20,000 per year by volunteer TLA, lo managing is la car. 10,000 lo registration na service na maintenance block car. Na 2 fuel block car. Na 10,000 lo admin
school activities. A funding support of 100,000 kina was also paid to the school to support the parents' component of the school fees. The Namatanai Secondary School Deputy Principal says they are happy with this support.
And I'm pleased to have our 2 new school buses presented by the member for Namatanai. Mi play mama stru se mi play mama, mi play mama stru se mi play gadis lakar because mi play se painat, mi play lo market.
Rayon Lakingu National, MTV News.
You're watching National MTV News. More stories when we come back. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. UNICEF has launched a 34-episode radio drama series called Changing the Headlines. This program is supported by the EU-UN Spotlight Initiative to begin a communication campaign aimed at promoting social and behavioral change to help end violence against women, girls, and children in Papua New Guinea.
Again! Almost 90% of the gender-based violence cases are faced by women folks in PNG. Secretary for Justice and Attorney General Dr. Eric Kwa, speaking yesterday during the launching of the Changing the Headlines drama, says the department is looking at reforms to hold accountable families and members of the society who harbor people that commit GBV.
We should hold family members, relatives accountable for witnessing domestic violence but not reporting.
Key government representatives, NGO partners, development partners and the cast of Changing the Headlines were present at the launching of the radio drama series. The launch featured live performances of 7 episodes, live band entertainment and Bilum Talk interviews with key speakers. The cast of Changing the Headlines include well-known PNG personalities like Leoshina Karia, Anna Joku and Ase Boas. This campaign is aimed at eradicating GBV in the country.
Spotlight is, of course, main focus is on gender-based violence. We want to eradicate violence against women and girls.
With radio being one of the major platforms accessed by majority of the people in the country, this radio drama also aims to influence the behavior of people in the society and to encourage them to change their way of conduct. Suli Suli, National MTV News.
A project initiated by the late Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare has borne fruit, with CPL Group now selling locally produced coconut oil products from Mushu Island in East Sepik Province. Made out of ingenuity passed from generation to generation, the cold-pressed oils are testament to the island's pre-independence history that has made the people of Mushu Island resilient over the years. The products include body massage oil and cooking oil and is now selling at all Stop and Shop and City Pharmacy outlets in Port Moresby. The products were launched during the week by representatives from the CPL Group, East Sepik Governor Alan Bird and Dalciana Somare Bresh. The National Film Institute Director Michelle Baru said making films is an expensive industry that has to be supported in order to progress. The institute has been challenged with funding constraints, lack of staff and equipment. Yesterday they opened the new Chris Owens Studio Complex that will house NFI's operations. They'll now need equipment and staff in order to fully function.
Building this studio and for 2 years.
Michelle Baru is the National Film Institute's director. She heads a team of 5 who have been operating out from these houses, converted into office spaces in the absence of a studio. Over the years, they've been struggling with the lack of funding, staff and equipment.
One per man work with 3+4 per line. I'm no helping me if I move forward. If we have skilled worker over the line, only one on position, I am sure we will move MNFI forward.
The National Film Institute started as the Round Round Theatre's media unit, filming the theatre group's performances. It later became established as the School Bilong Walking Picture and is now the National Film Institute. Chris Owen, a renowned filmmaker who spent years filming in PNG, was sent to revive the institute after the first studio burnt down in 1998.
Working maintenance workload house here, modify, change him, come up office, and building archive, Blenify, building digitizing lab, Blenify, and started writing proposal, Blokisim, funding the building studio.
Yesterday, they opened the new studio named after the late Chris Owen. The NFI Round Round Theatre and the Institute of PNG Studies comes under the National Cultural Commission, or NCC. NCC CEO Stephen Kilanda said the commission has not been getting enough funding to operate all these three institutions. However, getting equipment for the NFI is something they're working on.
So next thing for me to do is to get the equipments. So I'll have to work around the clock to look for some money to get the equipment.
Lucy Kopana, National EMTV News, Goroka.
100,000 kina was presented to the National Cultural Commission by Goroka MP Ayet Tambua yesterday during the opening of the National Film Institute's studio complex. These are funds given to support the National Film Institute and the Round Theatre in Goroka. NCC CEO Stephen Kilanda thanked Mr. Tambua, saying the Goroka District and the Tourism Promotion Authority have been supporting their functions.
Separate budget by national government. That's all. Me look him. Plenty time me best neglect him all. You minister back him all up. 50,000 is not a big money, but it will go a long way to help this small institutions in the country.
I remember Goroka presented 100,000, 50,000 to Ronald Theatre, 50,000 to Film Institute. All the 100,000 was given to National Cultural Commission so that we manage it from there.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Despite the cancellation of the Trukai Fun Run event due to restrictions brought on by the COVID pandemic, the PNGOC still managed to sell 250,000 kina worth of Fun Run t-shirts. The Trukai Fun Run raffle promotion gave the opportunity to the general public to win prizes while supporting Team PNG through the purchase of Fun Run t-shirts.
The PNG Olympic Committee and Trukai Industries announced yesterday the 40 winners for the Trukai Fun Run Raffles campaign. The draw was conducted at the PNGOC office at Olympic House, Boroko, in the presence of representatives from Trukai Industries, TSI security personnel, and PNGOC to witness the occasion. PNGOC Corporate Manager Ian Leklek congratulated the winners, thanking them for supporting Team PNG through the purchase of Trukai Fun Run t-shirts. Leklek thanked the other corporate partners of the PNGOC for providing the prizes for the raffle. They include Brian Bell Group of Companies, Coral Sea Hotels, and Theodis Limited. All funds raised this year went towards supporting Team PNG attending the Tokyo Olympic Games. In total, over 250,000 kina worth of Fun Run t-shirts were sold. The raffle winners will be notified via print and social media, also through the contact details provided on the raffle ticket butts. Huxley Lovai, Trukai Sports.
And that ends Trukai Sports. The weather report is next. We'll bring you all the details after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for tonight and tomorrow. Southern region, Port Moresby and Popondetta, partly cloudy with chances of few showers and possible thunderstorms. Daru, squally showers and cloudy with windy conditions. Kerama, chances of showers and possible thunderstorm. Alotau, few showers and possible thunderstorm. For the Momase region, Ley, occasional rain showers and thunderstorm. Medang and Wewak, few showers and possible thunderstorm, then cloudy periods. Vanimo, cloudy periods with few showers. The New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, partly cloudy with brief showers. Kavieng, mostly fine. Kokopo, Rabaul, fine, partly cloudy. Kimbe, partly cloudy with chances of few showers. Buka, fine and sunny. And for the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Mendi and Wabeg, some rain showers and cloudy periods. Goroka and Kundiawa, occasional rain showers and thunderstorm. Forecast for small crafts for the next 24 hours. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border through Torres Strait to Daru, to Kiwai Islands to Kerama, to Yule Island to Hood Point, to Samarai Islands with waters of Samarai Islands, to Cape Vogel and eastern and western Milne Bay Islands, and with waters of Finschhafen through Vitiers Dampier Straits to CSC Long Islands, seas 2 to 3 meters. Waters north of Cape Vogel through Huon Gulf to Finschhafen, seas 1.5 to 2 meters. Waters north of Long Island to Medang, to Wewak, to Aitape, to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 1 to 2 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1.3 meters. Waters of New Ireland to New Britain and Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Ocean forecasts for PNG areas. Coral seas, seas rough with patches, very rough with high seas, with east to southeast winds of 25 to 33 knots, gusting to 48 knots at over the central quadrant. Solomon seas, seas moderate to rough with southeast winds of 20 to 30 knots, gusting to 45 knots south of the quadrant. Bismarck seas, seas moderate to patches rough with southeast winds of 16 to 25 knots with gusts to 40 knots over the southwest quadrant. Pacific Ocean seas slight with east to southeast winds of 10 to 15 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that's been the news, sports and weather for today, Saturday, 31st of July, 2021. Until next time, be safe, pleasant viewing, bye for now.